Hey everybody, Alyssa here from Becoming Memories. Excited to join today in a vlog hop for Kaezmum. Hope I'm saying that right. She has her 1,000th subscriber giveaway going on her blog today, and we thought we would do a blog hop to celebrate because 1,000 subscribers is amazing. Takes a lot of work to get to that point, and we all love seeing her inspiration and wanted to join in the fun. So I am scraplifting that layout you just saw there for a few seconds at the beginning of the video, and I will put it up here in the corner of the video as well as soon as I'm done recording this voiceover and remember to do it. So I've pulled out some ancient papers. This is Anna Griffin Darcy collection. It is from, I think, 2011, something like that. But I have historically always found sonogram pictures really hard to scrapbook. And this collection has a lot of black and white in it, which I was hoping would kind of inspire me. However, I will say up front, full disclosure, I did not end up using much black and white at all in my layout. But hey, oh well. Got me started, and that is what counts. So I am using here a brick stencil. This is an older stencil from Prima. And some oxide ink in Hickory Smoke, I believe, from Ranger. And just kind of doing a little bit of this brick pattern around where I believe my photo is going to go. Very much like Jennifer's layout that I'm scraplifting today, I'm planning to put my photo in the middle with embellishments to the left, right, and just a little bit above and below, but primarily on the left and right of the photo. So this is the very first layout I am creating for daughter Isla. She is currently still growing inside. She will not be here until September, but I decided to actually get a page in her album before she's even born. Imagine that, me getting ahead of the schedule. Doesn't happen very often, so don't get too excited. So anyway, now we have this brick pattern around the photo, and I'm going to do some fussy cutting here, some of which I'm going to cut out, but I'm also going to speed it up quite a bit. In the meantime, I wanted to talk for just a second about fussy cutting these more abstract florals. Now, probably like the rest of you, I find it much easier to fussy cut a floral when the pattern is clear and distinct. The flowers don't overlap each other, there's space in between, and it's very obvious and clear where you should cut. And in this case, a pattern like this is not so obvious. And I think it makes for a beautiful paper, but it makes it much harder to fussy cut. So here's my advice. When you're fussy cutting a paper like this, just go with it. Like, if you are kind of wondering where does this flower end and the next one begin, I have found, to be honest, it doesn't really matter. In fact, sometimes I end up just sort of faking the line and cutting where I think it might look about like the edge of the flower. And that's, you know, sometimes that's all you can do. But I know that sometimes it's intimidating to fussy cut a paper like this when you're just really unsure where you start and where you stop. The other thing is, sometimes I will fussy cut a much bigger piece than I actually want. Like, I'll fussy cut out 3 or 4 flowers together, and then I'll end up tucking and just chopping that big piece in half, or in quarters, or in thirds, or whatever, and sticking the part where I just chopped it off underneath my photo. And then the part where I did the fussy cutting, like the exterior edge of that bigger piece, is the part that's showing. And so that saves sometimes a lot of that headache of like, where do I cut this? Where do I start? Where do I stop? Have I gone too far? So anyway, back to the inspiration layout for a second. You'll notice there's some beautiful mixed media in the background, and that's why I did that brick. Kind of inspired me to start my layout with some mixed media. There I go, tidying up. I'm a tidier. I have to tidy my layout. My layout. I have to tidy my layout too, but I have to tidy my desk basically frequently, multiple times, and definitely after every layout. I find it overwhelming to work in a space that's too cluttered. However, full disclaimer, I think when I was filming this, my desk was actually pretty messy. You can see some things laying around there from previous layouts that I haven't put away yet. And also, pregnancy has been kicking my little backside lately, and that's another reason why I haven't filmed besides the lack of alone time due to the current stay-at-home restrictions, it's really hard to get motivated to film when you're basically falling asleep by 8 o'clock at night. But it's okay. She will be beautiful and she'll be worth it in the end. Anyhow, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, just because I keep my desk clean, however, does not mean I keep the floor clean. So, just going to throw that out there for you. And we're getting almost to the end of the fussy cutting here. I should have cut more of this out or sped it up more because now I'm just kind of babbling, but anyhow. All right, so now we're just tucking some flowers in around the photo. And I'm kind of just trying to figure out what I like and what goes where at this point. This ends up being a very simple layout with really only 2 pieces of pattern paper and some mixed media and some letters, I think, and a few spatters. Really, there wasn't a whole lot involved in the making of this layout. The color scheme is partially due there to the ultrasound photo and the paper pad that I chose, but also inspired by that layout. Jennifer uses, in her layout, she uses a lot of bright, fun colors, and I wanted to do that as well. I feel like these ultrasound photos, I really have a hard time with them, guys. I don't know why. My son, who is now 6, had several ultrasound appointments, and I think I only scrapbooked maybe 1 or 2 of the photos because I just found them so difficult. So I'm here looking for letters for her name, which is Isla, and going to go back here in a second and choose out the word baby because that is what her older siblings call her. She is not just Isla, she is baby Isla, which I suppose is appropriate. I'm sure at some point she will grow to hate that. I guess we'll just have to see how long that lasts. Maybe after she's born, we'll lose the baby part and just call her by her name, but we'll see. So this is almost the layout finished right here. Putting the letters away here, and see, I try to leave some things out on my desk at times, and it just really, I can't do it. Let me know in the comments below if you are a perpetual tidier or if you are a pile it up until it reaches the collapsing stage. I really have to say I'm probably a little bit of both, because there have been times when the piles on my floor have collapsed and the trash can has overflowed, and hasn't necessarily been a good thing. Especially with children around. I think that might be part of why I tidy so much, is because I still do have young children, even in addition to Isla. I have a 3-year-old, a 6-year-old, and then 2 teenagers, and so, you know, my space is part of the dining room and not entirely able to be closed off. So these are some label stickers from Ellie's studio, I think. Yeah, maybe. And I'm going to use those as a place to just put a tiny bit of journaling. This layout, I don't feel like it needs a whole lot of journaling. I mean, it's an ultrasound photo. At this point, we really don't know much about her or her personality, other than she will be very loved and we're excited to welcome her to the world. But I basically just want to put the date and the how many weeks gestation she is at this point, and that is pretty much going to be enough for me. So here I go changing the ATG tape, and apparently I forgot to edit this part out as well. My editing skills have gotten a little rusty. Oh wait, no, I'm not changing it, just fixing it. And yes, I am sticking the photo upside down here. Ah, caught it. Thank God I recognized that before it was all the way stuck down, right? Because, you know, it's one of those things. So, sticking the rest of the flowers down, now I'm going to go through the other embellishments that I pulled out. This little wood piece says rad and awesome. You probably can't see that on the camera, but that is actually from one of the really old boy collections from Pink Fresh Studio. And I've had that set of wood veneer out several times trying to use it and never did. And Ironically, the first time it gets used is on a baby girl layout. So, you never really know where your supplies are going to work best. And sometimes you think outside the box a little bit, mix up those collections. And I think that's why I love mixing collections, because sometimes things that you just struggle to use will end up going with a collection you never in a million years would have thought to use them with. And that one, I don't even think I pulled that one out for this layout, or maybe I did because it had the blues and greens. But it was there on my desk, and so I used it. So this is a Viva Decor paint pen, and it's a little bit clogged. Haven't used it in a while, and I couldn't find a pin there on my desk just at this exact point. So you're about to get to watch something happen that made me gasp. You can probably guess what it is. I'm just adding a few little dots, kind of similar to like a scattering of enamel dots in a few places here, but watch what's about to happen. Don't worry, the layout survives, but what? I literally had a moment of when that happened, and it ends up being okay. The letter there, since it's a raised chipboard letter, it actually kept the paint from going too far in either direction, and I was able to scrape most of it off. So now I'm just taking look how much excess paint came out of there. I will use that little card for something else at some point. That's why I went ahead and transferred it rather than just wiping it off and throwing it away. So now I'm back to fussy cutting because I got to cover that up. At this point, I was so close to finished. There was no way I was going to start over or try to replace that background. And so I decided to just cut some leaves to cover it. And in the end, I actually like how that works. I like that it overlaps that wood veneer piece a little bit. And I feel like it sort of brought the whole thing together and made the word up at the top blend with the florals down below. So it was a happy accident in the end. Nevertheless, still an accident. These are Nuvo drops, and I'm just going around adding a few more. I've been kind of obsessed with the Nuvo drops lately. I got some in the mail recently, and I have not put them away since they arrived. So they keep getting used because they keep sitting on my desk. I need to probably rotate out colors pretty soon because I have some more coming in the mail. Don't tell anyone. So there you have it. There's the finished layout. Big thanks to Jennifer for the inspiration. Make sure you go and check out her Facebook page. Nope, not her Facebook page, her YouTube channel, where she will be hosting a giveaway for hitting 1,000 subscribers. And if you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, and I will see you soon.